Hello, and thanks for joining me today as I embark upon a journey which shall take me to many different parts of Scotland. I've been singing and entertaining the length of breadth of Scotland for most of my life, so this trip's going to be a special one for me. We're going to visit some of my favourite places, from here in my native Aberdeenshire into as far north as Sutherland and over to the west, down past Loch Ness and the Great Glen in Glencoe, over to Perthshire and the Angus coast, and back to Aberdeenshire to finish. For this trip I've included a huge variety of songs, mostly Scottish, some Irish and American. Certainly lots of new ones for me, which I hope you'll really enjoy. We'll start with a real good old-fashioned favourite. In the perfect setting of the old mill at Forester Hill, near the village of Old Meldrum, just a stone's throw from the great iconic Aberdeenshire landmark of Benachie. The song was written over 100 years ago by a Canadian called George Washington Johnson for his wife Margaret Clark, and the music was written by a friend of theirs, J.C. Butterworth. They called it When You and I Were Young, Maggie.
I wander today to the hills, Maggie, to watch the scene below. The creek and the creaking old mill, Maggie, as we used to long ago. The green grass is gone from the hills, Maggie, where first the daisies sprung. The creaking old mill, it is still, Maggie, since you and I were young. Now they say that I'm feeble with age, Maggie. My steps are much slower than then. My face is a well-written page, Maggie, and time all alone was the pen. They say that we've outlived our time, Maggie, as dated as the songs that we've sung. But to me, you're as fair as you were, Maggie, when you and I were young. And now we are aged and grey, Maggie, the trials of life nearly done. Let us sing of the days that are gone, Maggie, when you and I were young. When you and I were young.
Now, I haven't travelled very far in the first step of my journey from the old mill at Forester Hill at Old Meldrum, but it's a very familiar view to me and one I would regard as real home territory. I'm standing here on the top of Mormont Hill in the Buchan area of Aberdeenshire, better known as Mormont Braes in the great Bothy song, with the great white horse at the other side of the hill in the village of Strichen that nestles down below. It's a fantastic view of ripening corn and barley and out to the North Sea, to the little bays where I grew up. And I've chosen this beautiful and stunning location near my home to sing one of the most popular ever Irish ballads, The Fields of Athenry.
By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling. Michael, they are taking you away, for you stole Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see the morn. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crown, I rebelled, they ran me down. Now you must raise our child with dignity. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. By a lonely harbour wall, she watched the last star falling, as the prison ship sailed out against the sky. For she lived in hope and pray for her love in Botany Bay. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing, we had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
Now from Aberdeenshire, as my journey leads its way into the Highlands, I've stopped at the northern end of the Caledonian Canal in Inverness, overlooking the boats and yachts at the Telford Street Bridge, where a plaque is mounted to mark the opening of the canal on the 24th of October in 1822. It's from here I'm going to sing to you a traditional Scottish love song called Bonnie Bessie Logan. Bessie must have been quite a stunner and really broke this young lad's heart with her good looks. Bessie could be any good-looking Scottish lass today, and I suppose the moral of this love song is that there's no harm in looking and there's no harm in dreaming, but at the end of the day there's no chance that she'll ever be yours.
Bonnie Bessie Logan, she's handsome, young and fair, and oh, the very wind that blows, it lingers in her hair. She's lightsome, young and lovely, as she comes out the lea. For Bonnie Bessie Logan was our young for me. Bonnie Bessie Logan, the lads all do her style, and all come on for her to win her love and smile. I fain would be among them, but oh, that canna be. Bonnie Bessie Logan was our young for me. Bonnie Bessie Logan, she stole my hair to war, and when I think upon her, the tears do softly fall. For now I lie with this yin until the day I die. For Bonnie Bessie Logan was our young for me. Bonnie Bessie Logan, she's handsome, young and fair, and oh, the very wind that blows, it lingers in her hair. She's lightsome, young and lovely, when she comes out the lea. For Bonnie Bessie Logan was our young for me.
I'm now well up past Inverness and the Black Isle, and I've crossed the Cromarty Firth and cut inland towards making my way to Sutherland. But I've stopped on a famous Highland viewpoint called the Struie, which looks back down onto the beautiful Dornoch Firth. And I always know when I've hit this fantastic viewpoint that I'm really on my way to the far north of Scotland. Real freedom, away from all the hustle and bustle of life. And it's here, as I look down on such a fantastic view of Scotland, that I wanted to sing a really famous and popular old Scottish favourite. As we travel round the Highlands on a journey of song, I'll be singing several about Scots leaving their native homeland, some forced to leave, the unwilling emigrants, and of course the many adventurous Scots who have travelled seeking their fame and fortune. And there's no doubt, when you hear this next song, that wherever we travel in this world, we always think of home and the folk we left behind. The song is My Ain Folk.
Far frae my hame I wander, but still my thoughts return to my ain folk ower yonder in the shieling by the burn. I see a cosy ingle, and the mist abeen the brae, and joy and sadness mingle as I list some all-world lay. And it's oh, but I'm longing for my ain folk, though they be but lowly peer and plain folk. I am far beyond the sea, but my heart will ever be back home in dear old Scotland wi' my ain folk. Though they're absent in their telling, the old folk by the fire, I mark a soft tear welling as the rosy flames leap higher. How my mother would caress me when I bid by her side. Knew she prays that heaven may bless me, though the stormy seas divide. And it's oh, but I'm longing for my ain folk, though they be but lowly peer and plain folk. I am far beyond the sea, but my heart will ever be back home in dear old Scotland wi' my ain folk. Back home in dear old Scotland wi' my ain
When I came up over the Struie earlier, I mentioned that I would sing one or two songs about exiled Scots. I suppose the many thousands of emigrating Scots men and women that have left this country over the centuries have taken heavy thoughts with them of loved ones left behind, family homes perched high on heathery braes and lochs and mountains. It's still the romantic image that many folk round the world have of Scotland today. And when I think of folk like the great Sir Harry Lauder, who went off entertaining round the world, he knew exactly the words that many of them wanted to hear. The first one that I'm about to sing here is by Sir Harry Lauder himself, Gilbert Wells and Fred Elton, called The Wee Hoose 'Mong the Heather. The second, appropriate again to sing here in the Highlands by Sandy McFarlane, is Granny's Heelin' Hame.
There's a wee house on the hillside that I haven't seen for years. I've an awful longing feeling and my eyes well dim with tears when I think on all the happy days I spent beside that spot, and the games we played as laddies there will never be forgot. There's a wee house 'mong the heather, there's a wee house o'er the sea. There's a lassie in that wee house waiting patiently for me. She's the picture of perfection, och I wouldna tell a lie. If you see her, ye would love her just the same as me. Though I'm far awa frae Scotland and the scenes I lose a weel, there's a beat for the old country that in every pulse I feel. And though other lands are bonny and the other folks are kind, there is one scene and one only that is ever in my mind. There's a wee hoose 'mong the heather, there's a wee hoose o'er the sea. There's a lassie in that wee hoose waiting patiently for me. She's the picture of perfection, och I wouldna tell a lie. If you see her, ye would love her just the same as me. When the heather bells are blooming just outside Granny's door, where as laddies there we played in days of long ago, 'neath the shadow of Benvraggy and Golspie Scorpy's lordly stain. How I wish that I could see my granny's Highland hame. Far away in the Highlands there stands a wee house, and it stands on the breast o' the brae, where we played as laddies there long, long ago, and it seems it was just yesterday. I can still see old Granny, a smile on her face, just as sweet as the heather dew. As I kissed her goodbye with a tear in her eye, she said, "Laddie, may God bless you." When the heather bells are blooming just outside Granny's door, where as laddies there we played in days of long ago, 'neath the shadow of Benvraggy and Golspie's lordly stain. How I wish that I could see my granny's Highland hame. How I wish that I could see my granny's Highland hame.
Well, it's a very poignant stop for another song in our journey, because who would ever travel through Sutherland without mentioning the Highland clearances, one of the most deeply emotive topics in Scottish history, and of course one of the most controversial. Throughout Sutherland you find remains of settlements from the clearances in the 19th century, where families who had occupied these lands for generations were forced either to head southwards or forced to emigrate, particularly to North America, to seek new homes and lives. Strathnaver, which runs some 17 miles along the River Naver from Betty Hill southwest to here at Altnahara, is full of cleared settlements like Rossall and Grumbeg. They're eerie places today, full of ghosts and memories of once buoyant communities. It's from here I've chosen to sing Ivan Drever's amazing song about one man's departure during the clearances, the Braes o' Sutherland.
Farewell, dear Braes o' Sutherland, I'll ne'er see you no more. For I must take a stranger's path and leave my native shore. My friends and my acquaintances, I'll give you now my hand, for I will ne'er be back again on the Braes o' Sutherland. To the rages of the old Benmore I'll bid a fond adieu. To Rose Holland, to Bonner Bridge, I'll leave my heart with you. To the rolling banks o' the Oikel, and to Dornick's gentle sands, I wish you well, my comrades there on the Braes o' Sutherland. Farewell to your roads o' Spinningdale, this chapter now will close. To the ghosts that lie at Carbisdale, and to the downfall of Montrose. To Ardguy and to Invershin, no more I'll walk your sands, for I will leave my memories on the Braes o' Sutherland. I now will leave my native home for the shores o' America, My love I leave behind me now, for I can no longer stay. The orders from the castle come by the Duke's right hand. I fear that I will leave you there on the braes of Sutherland.
One of the first songs I ever remember hearing as a child was the great Callum Kennedy singing The Waters of Kyleskew. But this is the first time I've ever actually managed to come and see the famous Kyleskew or its lovely inlets of waters for myself. I feel I've always known this place because of the song, and it's a fantastic feeling just to be here today. To get to this amazing place, we've travelled past nearly every landmark that's mentioned in this well-known song, and Kyleskew itself, well, it's just as bonny as I ever imagined it to be. And you know, for as long ago as it was that this song was written, it might just have been yesterday in terms of the spectacular scenery or the words in verse 3. By craggy pool and loyal and the cold Backy sands, I've thought of them while soldiering in far-off foreign lands. Just like our brave young lads today fighting abroad, painfully, I'm sure, missing home. So let's sing the song here at its home, The Waters of Kyleskew.
By Claybrake and Ben Loyal and the bonny Kyle of Tongue, the roads we often travelled in the days when we were young. There's magic and there's beauty in those hills when passing through. There's many a mile from Inverness to the waters of Kyleskew. O'er all of bonny Scotland I dearly love the west. Its bens and glens in summertime, they surely are the best. There's grandeur and there's beauty in those hills when passing through. There's many a mile from Lairg to the waters of Kyleskew. By craggy pool and loyal and the cold Backy sands, I've thought of them while soldiering in far-off foreign lands. I dreamt I saw the sunset o'er the hills of Cashel-Roo. In fancy I was wandering by the waters of Kyleskew, where the river rises in the heights of High Ben Hee. Through lovely Strathnagar it's flowing to the sea. The heather bells on Claybrake side are decked in morning dew. There's many a mile from Langdale to the waters of Kyleskew. There's many a mile from Langdale to the waters of Kyleskew.
Well, I've made my way up to the very top of Ben Harold, in the heart of the Altnahara estate. to get the breathtaking view of the mountains and the Highland scenery. There's Ben He, Ben Hope, Ben Loyal and Ben Cleabrig all in the background up here. And I wanted to see this perfect unspoiled view of the mountains, the wildlife and feel the wind to sing this next song, which was recorded by the legendary American singer John Denver. Up here today, where you feel so far away from everything apart from nature itself, it must be the perfect combination to understand the powerful words of this song. I hope you really enjoy it. It's called The Flower That Shattered the Stone.
The earth is our mother, just turning around, with her trees in the forest and roots underground. Our Father above us, who sighs the wind, paint us a rainbow without any end. As the rivers run freely, the mountain does rise. Let me touch with my fingers and see with my eyes. In the hearts of the children a pure love still grows, like a bright star in heaven that lights our way home, like the flower that shattered the stone. Sparrows find freedom beholding the sun. In the infinite beauty, we're all joined in one. I reach out before me and look to the sky. Did I hear someone whisper? Did something pass by? As the river runs freely, the mountain does rise. Let me touch with my fingers and see with my eyes. In the hearts of the children a pure love still grows, like a bright star in heaven that lights our way home, like the flower that shattered the stone. Like a bright star in heaven that lights our way home, like the flower that shattered the stone.
When I come up to Sutherland on holiday, fishing on the River Never, I always know that when I'm fishing here on Beat 6 on the River Never, which is one of the finest salmon rivers in the whole of Scotland, that it's not far from the lovely little village of Betty Hill on the far north coast of Scotland. If you're ever up here, it's a great stop at the wee shoppie in the village for midgie cream or a spare bottle or two of malt whisky for a fine day's fishing on the river. But when you stand here in the pure golden sands of Betty Hill, where the River Never joins the Atlantic Ocean, there's no wonder someone put pen to paper and wrote our lovely next song, simply called Bonnie Never Bay.
Where the Never joins the sea, that is where I long to be. Where the crofters tend their sheep and make their hay, working on a threshing mill back in bonny Betty Hill. You can get a view of bonny Never Bay. You can go to Kirklemee, that's a place beside the sea, or to Hope or Tongue a few miles further west. Oh, but how I long to be at my home beside the sea, at that lovely place called Bonnie Neighbour Bay. There's the waters of Kyleskew, there's the bonny cave o' Smoo, Ben Claybrig and Ben Loyal, they are grand. Oh, but how I long to be at my home in Renachie, at a place that's known as Bonnie Neighbour Bay. Now if ever you go north, just come through my place of birth. Forget about Loch Lomond or Loch Tay. Build your castles in the sand at my home in Sutherland, at a place that's known as Bonnie Neighbour Bay, where the Neighbour joins the sea. That is where I long to be, where the crofters tend their sheep and make their hay, working on a threshing mill back in bonny Betty Hill. You can get a view of Bonnie Neighbour Bay. You can get a view of Bonnie Neighbour Bay.
Being up here in the far stretches of the Scottish mainland makes me think about the Western Isles, where I've personally visited as far out as St Kilda. From here they seem so near, yet so far away to the west. But being born and brought up an East Coast loon, steeped in the Doric-speaking and Bothy ballad singing traditions, makes me no less of a fan of the Western Isles and our lovely Gaelic language. I love to hear my great friend Anne Lorne Gillis sing McGinty's Meal and Ale, but it just means when I head over to the west, well, I can feel equally at home singing my next song. Looking westward today, what else would anyone want to sing other than that timeless Scottish classic, The Dark Island?
Away to the westward I'm longing to be, where the beauties of heaven unfold by the sea, where the sweet purple heather blooms fragrant and free, on a hilltop high above the dark island. Oh, isle of my childhood, I'm dreaming of thee, as the steamer leaves open and passes Tiree. Soon I'll capture the magic that lingers for me, when I'm back once more upon the dark island. So gentle the sea breeze that ripples the bay, where the stream joins the ocean and young children play. On a strand of pure silver I'll welcome each day, and I'll roam forevermore the dark island. Oh, isle of my childhood, I'm dreaming of thee, as the steamer leaves open and passes Tiree. Soon I'll capture the magic that lingers for me, when I'm back once more upon the dark island. True gem of the Hebrides, bathed in the light of the midsummer dawn that follows the night, how I yearn for the cry of the seagulls in flight, as they circle high above the dark island. Oh, Isle of my childhood, I'm dreaming of thee. As the steamer leaves Oban and passes Tahiri, soon I'll capture the magic that lingers for me. When I'm back once more upon the dark island, when I'm back once more upon the dark island.
I've already sung two well-known Irish songs as part of my trip to the Highlands, but this next one, well, it's certainly a change for me. As you'll see by the backdrop, we're here on the shores of Loch Ness at Inverness, on my way a bit further south on this journey. You know, folk everywhere love both Scottish and Irish music and song, but this next particular cheery country song depicts the strong passion that many folk, like myself, have for both. From Derry to the ferry, destination Inverness, to make music in the Highlands, and we have but one request. The song title here kinda says it all. It's called The Shamrock and the Heather, and if you listen carefully to the words, there's a wee bit in it about having a dram. So cheers.
From Derry to the ferry, destination Inverness, to make music in the Highlands, and we have but one request. We want to see you dancing, singing, clap your hands. So come on boys, waltz your angels, and we'll have a few wee drams. So here's a toast to the shamrock and heather, flower of Scotland, the rose of Tralee. On the road to Aberdeen, Donegal or Gretna Green, sure it all feels like going home to me. Now the history books have told of many men so great and true, like our braveheart William Wallace and your own King Brian Boru. But we're going to entertain you with our music and our crack. But before you leave the show tonight, remember hasty back. Here's a toast to the shamrock and heather, flower of Scotland, the rose of Tralee. On the road to Aberdeen, Donegal or Gretna Green, sure it all feels like going home to me. Aviemore has mountain scenery that's seldom ever seen, like back there in old Antrim where the glens are emerald green. Now I have one love of Scotland, she's a bonny little lass. When she's poured in double measures, sure I'll drink her by the glass. Here's a toast to the shamrock and heather, flower of Scotland, the rose of Tralee. On the road to Aberdeen, Donegal or Gretna Green, sure it all feels like going home to me. Here's a toast to the shamrock and heather, flower of Scotland, the rose of Tralee. On the road to Aberdeen, Donegal or Gretna Green, sure it all feels like going home to me. Sure it all feels like home sweet home to me.
I've now come to Speen Bridge, and behind me is the Great Commando Memorial. And I've chosen this location to sing one of the late Hamish Henderson's strongest ever ballads, called Freedom Come A Ye. I miss Hamish so much, like so many folk do. He was such a walking inspiration like no other for Scottish tradition, song and language. In this masterpiece of a song, which Hamish set to the great retreat pipe march, The Bloody Fields of Flanders, Hamish is calling in his words, which are a mixture of so many of our old Scots dialects, for his dream of freedom and understanding across nations in the difficult world we live in today. Freedom come a ye.
is dawning, blaas the clouds, Heelster County, ower the bay. But there's ne'er nor a rock wind blowing through the great glens o' the world the day. It's a thought that would gar oor rottens o' the rocks that gan gallus fresh and gay. Tak the road and seek other lawns, for their elk loys they sport and play. Nay, mer will oor bonny callants merch die war when oor braggarts hoarsely craw, nor we wames frae beneden clochen, nor the ships sailing down the broomy law. Broken families in lands we've headed, welcome Scotland, the brave nae mehr. Black and white until either married, mark the vile barracks of their master fair. Say, come all ye, at hame we freedom, never heed what the hoodies croak for doom. In your house, all the bairns o' Adam will find breed, barley brie and painted room. When MacLean meets with friends in Springburn, all the roses in Gaines will turn to bloom. And the black boy frae Niagara dings the fell gallus of the boggers doom.
Well, I'm now here in this amazing setting at the Pass of Glencoe. Of course, this whole area today is famed as much for its scenery as it is for its tragic history. It was here in this glen that the horrible massacre of the MacDonalds occurred on the early morning of the 13th of February in 1692. After having enjoyed the traditional Highland hospitality from the MacDonalds, the government troops under the command of Captain Robert Campbell of Glenlyon slaughtered 38 men, women and children, and many more MacDonalds perished in the cold, wintry conditions as they fled to the hills. I suppose what happened here on that fateful morning all those years ago will never go away, and the wounds of history that happened here at Glencoe, I suppose, will never heal. Back in the 1960s, Jim McLean wrote this haunting song about the massacre here at Glencoe.
Oh, cruel was the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave o' Donald. Oh, cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house o' MacDonald. They came in a blizzard, we offered them heat, a roof o'er their heads, dry shoes for their feet. We wined them and dined them, they ate of our meat, and they slept in the house o' MacDonald. Oh, cruel was the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave o' Donald. Oh, cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house o' MacDonald. They came from Fort William, we murder in mind. The Campbells had orders King William had signed. Put all to the sword, these words underlined, and leave none alive called MacDonald. Oh, cruel was the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave o' Donald. Oh, cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house o' MacDonald. They came in the night when the men were asleep, this band of Argyles, through snow soft and deep, like murdering foxes among helpless sheep. They slaughtered the house o' MacDonald. Oh, cruel was the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave o' Donald. Oh, cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house o' MacDonald. Some died in their beds at the hands o' the foe. Some fled in the night and were lost in the snow. Some lived to accuse him who struck the first blow. But gone was the house o' MacDonald. Oh, cruel was the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave o' Donald. Oh, cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house o' MacDonald. And gone was the house o' MacDonald.
Now from here at windy Glencoe, I'm off to Cullen at the western end of Loch Tay to sing that fine old song, simply called When I Grow Too Old to Dream.
When I grow too old to dream, I'll have you to remember. When I grow too old to dream, your love will live in my heart. So kiss me, my sweet, and so let us part. And when I grow too old to dream, your love will live in my heart. When I grow too old to dream, I'll have you to remember. When I grow too old to dream, your love will live in my heart. So kiss me, my sweet, and so let us part. And when I grow too old to dream, your love will live in my heart. So kiss me, my sweet, and so let us part. And when I grow too old to dream, your love will live in my heart. And when I grow too old to dream, your love will live in my heart.
I've now made my way into Perthshire in the very heart of Scotland, where I'm standing here enjoying the rich scenery of the very picturesque town of Dunkeld on the banks of the River Tay. As this is one of the most beautiful areas in the whole of Scotland, it's got to be the right place to sing that very iconic song, Caledonia, written by the great singer-songwriter Dougie MacLean, who hails from this lovely part of the country. You know, wherever I travel in the world today, I know that it won't be too long before I get homesick for Scotland. And as much as I've already sung some of the old favourites about missing Scotland up in the Highlands, this song is bang up to date. When I sing it, I always dedicate it to exiled Scots wherever they are in the world, just yearning for home. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home.
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me. In these last few days I've been afraid I might drift away. I've been telling old stories, singing songs that made me think about where I've came from. That's the reason why I see so far away today. Let me tell you that I love you and that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I have moved and I've kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proven. I've lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. I've kissed the girls and left them crying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've travelled far sometimes with conscience flying, somewhere with the wind. Let me tell you that I love you and that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I'm sitting here before the fire, an empty room, a forest choir. Flames that couldn't get any higher have risen, now they've gone. Well, I'm steady thinking and my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow. When the hands are shaken and the kisses flown, then I will disappear. Let me tell you that I love you and that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. If I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Yes, Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
Well, from Perthshire we've arrived on the very east coast of Angus to sing a song that I've known and sung for many years. It's all about this lovely little fishing village that I'm in called Achmithy, just a few miles north of Arbroath. Its history was famous like that of Arbroath today for that fine Scottish delicacy, smoked haddock. Although time and the fishing industry have passed this little place by, it often takes a song to remind us of days long ago. It was written by a great friend of mine, Jim Reid, one of the best ever singer-songwriters. I often entertain down in this part of the country, so to all the folk of Angus, this one's for you.
There's a wee fishing village on the shores of the North Sea, once famous for smoked haddock, and they called it Achmethy. I don't know where this name came from, or what it really means, but once you know Achmethy, you'll see it in your dream. It was there that I was born, many, many years ago, in a wee old stone cottage overlooking the round hoe. With the cliffs sae high and rugged, wash the wild seas from below. Such a place you will ne'er see, no matter where you go. Now I've been around Loch Lomond and Tobermory Bay, Inverary and Loch Fyne, and all along the way. But the bonniest spot that I ken, that I will be to me, is the rocks and cliffs and green braes, oh my dear old Achmethy. There's a wee fishing village on the shores of the North Sea, once famous for smoked haddock, and they called it Achmethy. I don't know where this name came from, or what it really means, but once you know Achmethy, you'll see it in your dream.
Well, I've made my way back up the coast from Achmethy to Stonehaven in Aberdeenshire, and I'm going to the Robert Burns Memorial Garden in Stonehaven to sing my next song. I spend most of January each year taking part in events to celebrate Robert Burns, and I'm always proud to tell everyone that Robert Burns' parents, William and Agnes Burness, as their name was at the time, moved from their home at Clockenhill near Stonehaven in Aberdeenshire to set up their new home in Ayrshire. A tiny little cairn at the side of the main road north towards Aberdeen marks the spot where their home was. Next year, 2009, is the 250th anniversary of Robert Burns' birth, and what a celebration it's going to be in a year of Scottish homecoming. I have dozens of favourite Robert Burns songs, but above all I will always say that the song he wrote for his lover Agnes MacLehose, his Sweet Clarinda, I personally think is the finest love song ever penned. A fond kiss.
A fond kiss, and then we sever. A farewell, alas, forever. Deep in heart-wrung tears, I'll pledge thee. Warring sighs and groans, I'll wage thee. Who shall say that fortune grieves him, while the star of hope she leaves him? Me nae cheerful twinkle lights me, dark despair around benights me. I'll ne'er blame my partial fancy, nothing could resist my Nancy, but to see her was to love her, love but her, and love forever. Had we never loved so kindly, had we never loved so blindly, never met nor never parted, we would ne'er been broken hearted. Fare thee well, thou first and fairest, fare thee well, thou best and dearest, thine be ilka joy and treasure, peace, enjoyment, love and pleasure. A fond kiss and then we sever, a farewell, alas, forever. Deep in heart wrung tears I'll pledge thee, warring sighs and groans I'll wage thee.
This is the great mansion of Harrow House in central Aberdeenshire, now in the care of the National Trust for Scotland, and it's one of my favourite places. In 1877, John Campbell Gordon, the 7th Earl and 1st Marquess of Aberdeen, commissioned the architect G.E. Street to build on a chapel to his home at the north side of the great house. Since its completion in 1881, it has always been an ecumenical chapel, and is one of the most peaceful places that I ever visit. I'm off inside now to sing the great Irish ballad, Danny Boy.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you, must go, I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. It's I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh Danny boy, I love you so. And if you come when all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear your soft new tread above me, and all my grace will warmer, sweeter be. And you will kneel and whisper that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me.
It's just a few miles from Harrow House to the great Fyvie Castle here for the last stop in my journey. Alexander John Forbes Leith, who became Lord Leith of Fyvie, had the words "Gang east and west, but hame's best" inscribed in stone on the side of the Leith Tower, which he built on to Fyvie Castle in the 1890s. And I think there's so much truth in those words. But as I come to the end of my journey of song to the Highlands and so many spectacular locations in Scotland, it's proved to me once again that I'll always be so very proud to regard this tiny little country of ours, with its amazing scenery and unsettled history, as a fantastic place to call home and to belong to. The journey and the songs have made me think so much of many influences in my entertainment career. And as I say goodbye with the song Lang Lang Syne, let me pay tribute to them and thank them all for their inspiration. Some still going strong and some sadly passed away. But thanks for joining me on this great journey, and I hope to see you all again soon. But here's Lang Lang Syne to say cheerio.
Do you mind in Lang Lang Syne when the summer days were fine and the sun shone brighter far than its Aberdeenshire sign? Do you mind the hag big turn for we guddled in the barn and were late for the squeal in the morning? Do you mind the sunny braes for we gathered hips and sleighs and we felt among the bramble busses tearing our clays, and for fear we would be seen we get slipping hame at e'en, but we're lickit for our pains in the morning. Do you mind the miller's dam when the frosty winters come and we slid across the curler's rink and made their game a sham? And they chased us through the snow, we took leg bellying and all, but we did it out again in the morning. But for all these bright hearts new that were so leal and true, oh, some have left life's troubled scene, some still are struggling through, and some here risen high in life's changeful destiny, for they rose wi' the lark in the morning. New life's sweet spring is past, and our autumn's come at last. Our summer days have passed away, life's winter's coming fast. But though long the night may seem, we will sleep without a dream, till we wake on yon bright Sabbath morn.